Okay, so now we're recording. Now we're official. So I'm over here making a sandwich really fast. Welcome, welcome. We're going to start with a clip from the awesome Patrick. If you don't know who Patrick is, get off this video. No, I'm just kidding. Patrick's amazing. He's the lead designer at Build a Row. He is really great at teaching us a lot of tools on how to be better retailers. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. And so you go to mute all. And we're going to start this little clip. I'm going to finish making that sandwich, and we're going to talk more of the rest of our topic today, which is treating your business like a business and how we can set goals to do that and changing our behaviors so that we can be more successful. And I really feel like Patrick has a great idea that he's going to share. This is from the leadership in October that Matt and I got to go to in Southern California.
All right, so to share
so
my
you go
screen.
To share screen. Yeah. But welcome everyone. Courtney, who's 832? Type your name in the comments so we can add a name to your phone number. I can't think of 832 area code top of my head. Else I might know. Oh, look, that's who it is. And then you can change their name. Oh, just your iPhone, Courtney. Okay, perfect.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, she must be logged in both times. All right, here he is.
It's getting more and more rare. You can't sell what you don't have, can you? You can't. You guys need to make sure that you're getting those orders in case the warehouse is backed up. No worries. You have your business covered. Remember, you are a business owner. I want to share a little story about my dad.
All right, so how are we doing? Give me like a thumbs up or something if you can see it.
Are we good? Okay, I just wanted to make sure really quick before we show the whole thing. Okay.
All right.
He self-published his first book, I remember, and he was really nervous. He couldn't get anybody to help him out, spend his own money. You can't sell what you don't have, can you? You can't. You guys need to make sure that you're getting those orders in case the warehouse is backed up. No worries. You have your business covered. Remember, you are a business owner. I want to share a little story about my dad. He self-published his first book, I remember, and he was really nervous. He couldn't get anybody to help him out, spend his own money. And he ordered just a little bit too many books. And I asked my dad, why'd you do that? I can't remember how old I was, really young. And he said, because those books are my boss. What are you talking about? Those books are books. Those books aren't your boss. And he taught me a lesson that I try to say to myself and to my team every single day, that the work is the boss. The work is the boss. You all are new business owners. If you order just a little bit too much inventory, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to sell it. Again, I'm not saying order silly amounts. If you have 1,000 units in your inventory, great. Don't order 2,000. Don't do that. If you don't leverage yourself. But if you're going to order 33 pieces, maybe order 44 pieces. Push the envelope because I guarantee you, you will sell it. Be prepared for the worst. We're prepared for the worst. That's what you have to do as a business owner, right? You have to be prepared that you're going to have the biggest sale ever and that you're going to completely run out of your inventory at any moment. Isn't that something great to be prepared for? So if you're prepared for that, you're going to have those orders flowing to make sure that you're covered for your business. Do you know how many times that we've received emails from consultants that say, if I don't get my box by Friday, my business is over? That shouldn't happen, right? That shouldn't happen. They should make sure they understand, you know what? Not only am I a fashion consultant, not only am I a product pioneer, but look, I am a business owner and I need to make sure that I am covering my bases for my business. Something Justin said in marketing at the very beginning of this business is be aware and be a wearer. Write that down. That's important. Be aware and be aware. What that means is be aware of what's going on in your business. Be aware of what's going on in fashion. Understand what's going on in retail. Do you all understand what's going on in retail? You guys are screwing it all up for everybody else. That's what's going on. Do you guys want hobby results? I don't. Imagine if the design, development, and production team, we just put in hobby effort. What if we did that? We had 3-sleeved Amelias. And I don't want to mess like that. I don't want to have to sort that out with our production team. So one thing I want to make sure that you all are taking all this information and sharing it with your downlines. This is very, very, very important. I hope that this information just doesn't stop here. I know that our mission statement is to bless lives and strengthen families. But one thing that we try to do in the design, development, and production department constantly is make sure that your existing customers are just as excited about LuLaRoe as the new ones. And how we do that, way easier said than done. Way easier said. I'll walk into the art room and I'll say, guess what, guys, 2017, all the prints are gonna look totally different. They're like, we've got some artists that it was their second day, they're like, but I just learned it. Why do we have to do that? Why do we do that? Why do we push ourselves so hard? We've got to stay innovative, right? We've got to constantly push forward to make sure that our products are the absolute best that we can do. Now, will you have damages? Will you have leggings with holes? I promise you're going to get leggings with holes. I don't promise too much in life, but that's one thing I can promise. But in saying that, the percentage is very low. It is. It's very, very low. You might get an order and I don't know what the percentage is for you, but yes, there will be some garments with holes, but it is not our goal to do that. With the volume that we're pumping out, with the amount of quality control that we have in, we try to look at every single piece to make sure that it is 100% perfect. But guess what? We're not perfect. And guess what? Neither are you. Nobody's perfect. But understand that we will push the envelope to the max absolutely every single day. Why do we push the envelope to the max? Why do we do that? Got to keep it interesting. Got to keep it fun. Again, what is life without risks? This past Tuesday, you all heard me on the webinar talk about Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. Can I see a show of hands of how many people really checked that out? Don't lie. Not near enough. Remember, you're a business owner. You're a fashion consultant. You give fashion advice. Check it out. Look at what's going on. What's going on is loud prints and large repeats. That's pretty cool, right? They're copying us. No, I'm just kidding. They're not. They're not. They're not. But that's what's going on. But what I'm trying to get at is we're on trend. We're so on trend, we're going to scare the daylights out of you. I promise you that. Reason why I say that is that 2017, we're doing things a little different. And that story I told you about walking into the art department and saying that everything's going to change is true. It's true. We are opening up new categories for our artwork. In regards to fabric, there are machines that produce our fabric that major retailers are begging to copy. They are. And it will happen. Oh, well. But you know how I know that we are so on trend? Look at you. Look at what you all do. Look at the way you style the product. You all are wearing things and putting things together, that I would have never dreamed of. You all are setting the trend for fashion. Really understand what I'm saying up here. If you have to write that down, if you can't remember that, write it down. You all are the trendsetters. You're changing your look every single day. You're doing 100% what all the boring retailers aren't doing. That's why it's working. I'm sure you've been to a mall, you've seen a mannequin with a garment, and it didn't change for 3 days. Have you seen that? Sometimes for 3 months. You all are walking mannequins for your business. Change your clothes every single day. You change your look, new patterns, new styles, new fits. We don't make mall clothes. Nope. We don't. Not that mall clothes aren't good, but we want to do something a little different, don't we? So embrace what we're doing. Understand that we will always keep you on your toes. There are many times you'll open your box and question, what in the world were they thinking? And that's okay. That's okay. I am 100% okay with that. And the reason why I'm okay with that, because look at you all. Look at the way you feel in our product. I shared a story, and I've shared it many times, and I'm debating if I should share it again, but I am. I just made that decision really quickly. And I'll tell you the 10,000-foot version, but I was at a training a couple years ago, and a consultant said that she held her own pop-up, and a lady came there, and she tried on the product, started crying, and had never felt beautiful in her entire life. Ever in her entire life. Now, she was a grown lady. Now, that's a crime. That's a crime. But she's never felt beautiful ever. And at that exact moment, my life changed. It changed. It seriously changed. I went from thinking, okay, what I do is I create these beautiful garments, and I'm a fashion designer, and I'm a merchant, and I look over production, to nope, I change lives. That's what I do. But guess what? You change lives as well. You change lives as well. I was talking with...
Okay. I could listen to him all day. Guys, every time Patrick comes on, my heart is just so excited and gets so happy. But I really, really like, and I really like the shift that LuLaRoe is going for, and we're fashion retailers. And I feel like just with that shift and that title, we understand more that was just a hobby. LuLaRoe is not just something that you just do for fun. And you don't sign up for a business that costs you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to just do it for fun or to get discounts. I'm telling you, your $5,000 to $10,000 that you spend will be better just buying it retail. You'll save money. You sign up because you want to make a difference. You want to feel difference. You want to be something. You want to have a purpose, and you want to change people's lives. And that's why you sign up for LuLaRoe. And so I love that's the shift and the focus right now, because in the beginning, just like other direct sales companies, people think that you sign up originally just for fun, or they don't understand the work that goes into it. And I hope everyone in our team knows, and I tell every single person, that I'm talking to about the business and everything, that it is a lot of work. It's manageable work, and the better that you are at managing your time, the more success you're going to have, because it is about time management. You have to spend the time that you have, because you don't have that much time, on doing the things that make you money. And you have to outsource the things that don't make you money. I don't care if you have to give away an Amelia a week to someone to take your pictures for you. Do it. Stop taking your own pictures. Stop doing the things that don't make you money, because your time is too valuable if you're really working your business hard enough. This also is a whole different thing I'm going to go into about the selling your inventory wholesale online. Waste of time. Go trade it with someone. Selling your inventory wholesale online is such a waste of time, even though I'm a sucker and I buy it all the time. And if I haven't paid for something, I'm sorry, you have to message it to me, because I get too many notifications, I can't keep up. But it is a waste of time, because you could be selling that online live or in your albums or in a multi and get the full price of it. or you could go trade it with someone else and just get a whole new fresh set of inventory without having to go place an order. That's what I did this month. This month we took 10 days off and we needed new inventory, but we didn't have the cash flow because we took a big, huge 10 days off, right? Like no income for 10 days. It was kind of hard and we needed new inventory. So Taya, my sister-in-law, who happens to live really close to me, was like, hey, I'm changing my whole inventory, every single piece. Do you want to come do some swapping? And I'm like, oh, my MG girl, you have no idea. And I went and I swapped 500 pieces with her. So she just was like, dude, take whatever you want. I'll come over. I'll take whatever. And we swapped like almost 500 pieces. And I sold so many of them. And I've done 12,000, almost 12,000 in sales in 2 weeks because of that. I had boxes for me when I got home, which I only placed one order on a cruise. It was a big order, 150 pieces, and then I had switched everything else out with her, and that was it. I didn't have orders coming in every day, so I had to get creative because I really wanted to cruise qualify, and I'm almost there. And I didn't have orders coming in every day, so I had to be creative, and I traded it all out, and so that was awesome. So trading is where it's at. With the new Bless system, you have to trade. This is a separate conversation. I don't want it to hijack this training. And there's something else I really want to talk about, but I do want to do a little training on that, on how to beefing up your inventory and trading it out and getting creative with it, because it takes so much time to sell it wholesale on those pages, even our own page. And it just takes a lot of time, and it takes time away from where you could be spending on your business. So anyway, okay. So love Patrick. I love his mindset that we need to be prepared for the worst. Like no one should ever be like, my business is going to be over if I don't get my box on Friday or whatever he said. That was the example. It's like, then you're not prepared. I can use me and Andy as an example. We both went to the convention last year and were not prepared for what was about to come after that. So we went to the convention last July, and then that next month, a lot of inventory was backed up for like almost 2 weeks. It was the worst in the LuLaRoe history, I think. And we were placing orders and they were not going to come for 2 weeks. And Andy and I both were like, oh my gosh, we didn't place enough orders when we were on our vacations before that. And for me, it was more, I know Andy was there and we had this issue in August. We didn't have inventory coming in soon enough. I know that she had that issue too, but for me, I went on like 2 weeks of vacation and I wasn't thinking like a retailer. I wasn't focused on my next sale. I was only focused on getting through to my trip, and things like that, and adding Carly's because they just launched. And like, I wasn't focused on everything else. And what happened with that is August suffered a lot for me, and it happened to a lot of people, but I can tell you 2 people it didn't happen to, Holly and Taya. And it's because during those weeks that everyone was gone or whatever everyone else was doing, they were thinking like a retailer and they were ordering every day. So when it came to the point that there was no orders coming for 2 weeks, it didn't matter because all their orders were coming from before, and they were placing an order almost every day. And they were in I'm building and I'm growing and I'm 100% reinvesting back into my business, 100%. And they both did that for a while, and they could because they had second incomes. Pam and Taya had a second income, and so did Holly. And so they were able to do that. Some people aren't. I wasn't able to 100% reinvest because I didn't have a second income. And so it's different for everyone. But I know that really blessed their business because they were thinking ahead and being prepared for the worst. And so what Patrick said is like, we always need to be prepared because that's our job. LuLaRoe really does the best that they can. Compared to any other direct sales company, LuLaRoe is like breaking records of having inventory in stock and keeping up with the demands and just getting better and better. I love when he was like, guys, 2017 is going to is just going to blow your mind. And I was at this convention when he talked about that. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. In my mind, it's like, I knew like LuLaRoe is always going to be improving, because I remember when I first onboarded, my inventory was nowhere near your guys' inventory. The people who have onboarded in the last 5 to 5 months their inventories are just so gorgeous. I didn't know that at the time, so mine was amazing, but I just can't even believe the prints. Like, have you seen the new classic tees that are like polka dots up here, just in this half, and then floral at the bottom, and then the mix match perfects, and then all things jacquard. And anyway, there's just so many things, and they just keep happening. And I'm just like, LuLaRoe keeps up with the trends. And that is why it isn't going away. So a lot of people are like, well, what's going to happen when it ain't going down? Because they just keep up with the trends. They are on point. And so it's up to us to also do that as well. We need to keep up with the trends. It's easy for us to keep up with trends because honestly, there's a lot of really skilled people in LuLaRoe who put it out there to social media and are willing to all of us share it. And we all share with each other different ways to like be more fashionable and to tie cute little knots and how to accessorize and do all these things. So like a lot of other consultants help me out because I didn't invent the knot in the Sarah. Like I love that look with the knot in the Sarah at the very bottom, just a cute little tiny knot. Have you guys seen that? It's super cute. Look at it. It just gives it a whole new little look. So you just wear it and then you just have a little knotted at the bottom. And I have one that's long and it totally helps it make it a little shorter. And it's just cute. And it just, those little things, like exactly what he said, like we are setting the trend. And so pick about 7 people that you watch on Instagram, leaders or just people. They don't even have to be a leader, just anyone that you like look up to in a fashion sense. You have to. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to be successful, you have to look at what successful people do and what fashionable people are doing. So pick like 7 people that you follow every week on Instagram. I don't care if you do it every day. Do it once a week, one person a day, and just see what they're doing and see their fashion. And that's how you can think like a retailer and think like a business owner. You're like, okay, this is working for that person. How can I make it work for my business? And that's when I started. I did a flat lay. They're hard, man. It took me like an hour and a half or whatever. And I've only done a couple and I want to do a few more, but they were successful. And a lot of people were very excited, about it. I learned that you probably shouldn't put shoes on the clothes. I'm like, oops, I didn't think about that. So I put the shoes on the clothes. I was like, I don't care. They're like, yeah, don't put the shoes on the clothes. I'm like, oh, good idea. But there's just, you're always learning, and it's up to you to keep involved and to stay in tune with that. And being aware of what's going on in LuLaRoe and in the fashion world. I really liked when he talked about that. So there's another ways that we can stop treating your business like a hobby. And there's like 7 steps to them. And I'll share this article with you because it was really cool. I don't know exactly what company he was addressing. It was just from Business Insider. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the few different things, and then maybe we can open it up and we can just talk about some of the things that we're doing to do it or whatever. So there's 7 things that are, let me do the screen share one more time. Oh, am I still in screen share? No? Okay. Okay, now I'm in screen share again, and I'm going to go back to this article. See, you know what I do when I have to do a training? I go Google stuff. And so I'm glad that we did that little thing last week, and a lot of people looked like they were starting to Google how to do something. Phil and Danielle, like even when I ask them questions, they're like, did you Google it? I'm like, no, go Google it. Okay. Or did you look at the team page? No, go look. Or she'll just tag me in it. And she won't even, like, even though she knows the answer, she's teaching me to do that. And it would probably be easier for her just to tell me the answer. But when she does that, it teaches me to be more efficient and independent. Okay. So I just, so you guys can read it with me and know exactly what I'm reading. Maybe actually I'll have someone else read it, since, do you guys care about that? Then you'll have to hear my voice the whole time. Let's see. Anyone want to read? Yay. Okay. Thanks, Elizabeth. Will you read for me? So go ahead and start with, there are no middle of the roads.
There are no middle of the roads to real commitment, and you are not ready to fully commit to all the rigors of a startup. You are better off sticking with your current role. For collaboration, here are some characteristics, or calibration rather. Here are some characteristics that you and others need to recognize in yourself as a truly committed entrepreneur. Actively seek leadership and responsibility. Many people need the comfort of following rather than leading. When things go wrong, it's then easier to point to someone else as the scapegoat. As an entrepreneur, the promises anyone makes on your behalf are yours. You need to be ready to accept the buck stops here and make it work. You want me to just keep reading? You're gonna.
Yeah, or some other people want to I'll break it up. So let me talk. I was gonna do it all at the end, but it's easier to do it after each thing. Okay, so I really like this because, and so Nicole, you're not on the Team Unicorn Wrangler page yet, but those of you who are onboarded on that page, I'm an admin to that page, and it is stressful to see all the posts that happen that are completely unnecessary or very victim mindset, and exactly when like things do go wrong, they like just use that as a scapegoat, and it's just interesting. So, but when you are in the mindset of wanting to help others and looking to do that, you are actively seeking that leadership role and responsibility. And I can only really, I can use other people in our team as an example, but I can use myself specifically, like Phil and Danielle, like I make all their events for their team page, because a long time ago, like 6 months ago, I was like, well, if you guys ever need anything, I can help you, even though in my mind I didn't want to, because I felt like my plate is really full. But I wanted to be actively seeking ways to be more united with our team. Because you know what? The first 6 months, I was so focused on myself that I didn't know the Team Unicorn Wranglers as much, except for Phil and Danielle, and then a few other people that I knew from Utah. But I didn't really know my peers, my brothers and sisters. And it wasn't until the last 6 months where I went to convention, first of all, didn't really feel like I knew a lot of people, and I was kind of sad about that because they all knew each other. And I was like, guys, I don't freaking have time to get to know you guys online, so I don't even care. I don't got time for that. But like when I would go to different things and like they all knew each other, they made time for it and they were all friends. And I'm like, well, I want to be friends too, And so I started making more time for it and making myself get to know people. And it was so great for the cruise because I knew everyone. And I really felt comfortable with them. And I really feel like I can call them friends now. And it's been a big blessing for me because I got out of my comfort zone. Because I was like, they should all come to me. I'm awesome, But I didn't. And I went to them. And it was a really humbling and amazing experience. So actively, being aware and paying attention to those in your team, because they're going to be your friends. And you guys aren't going to be able to go pay attention to everyone in Team Unicorn Wranglers. Like there's too many in that page, but you can pay attention to those who are in the Team Unicorn Divas page. It's still small enough. We still have an intimate setting to where you can get to know your Lula sisters and long distant cousins or whatever, more and use that as your support. And I promise you doing that will bless your life, and it'll bless your business, and it'll build relationships that when you go to these LuLaRoe events, you'll know people. And it's just amazing. It's just so awesome because then you can ask for advice and you can help each other, and you need that support, So, and you need support sometimes for people outside of your direct team too, because they have different insights. And so it's important to also just connect with consultants in general. And to be that friendship and to realize that the playing field is really equal and that we're the same, Okay. So, and then Nicole, do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you.
Exhibit surging new raw ambition. Sorry. Blech. Successful entrepreneurs are generally, sorry, my dog.
That's okay.
Are generally ambitious and confident in their abilities. They may have many ideas. Some of them are more workable than others. Failure is viewed as a learning opportunity, so it's not a disaster that some ideas don't actually get done the first time. Sorry, my Caden's bugging the dog.
That's okay. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You have to have the desires, and that will absolutely increase your success. Having that raw and that ambition. Anyway, so I'll read the next one. I don't know. Is it just us three on here? Because I can't see. Do you guys see anyone else?
Somebody named Angie.
Angie, are you here? Oh, Angie's iPhone, that's why. Okay. Okay. She's like, she muted herself. She probably has a doggy too. Angie, you're cute. Angie, raise your hand. Hey, Angie. Because it didn't show me on my bottom screen. So I was like, wanted to make sure. Okay, cool. Now I can see everyone. Okay. So, and then minimum positive feedback required. As I've said in previous articles, it's lonely at the top. If your physique is one that you need, or your psyche, whoa, that was weird. If your psyche is one that you need regular positive feedback and commensurate, is that how you say it? Commensurate, thank you. Paycheck to stay motivated, you'll need to find a real job rather than an entrepreneurial one. And so this is funny for me because I'm kind of fall in that category. Like I really do need positive feedback often. So I just get it from my husband and he doesn't always give it to me freely. I have to like pound it out. I'm like, Matt, all I wanted you to do is say how awesome I am. Come on. Like, and so Matt, tell me that you can't do this without me. Tell me I'm special. So I'm like, I totally fit in that category. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, like I totally get that. That you will do the right thing and you will do what's good for your business, whether or not anyone's looking. And a true leader does the right thing, whether or not anyone's looking. And a true successful person is the same way, you know? So, okay. And then, do you want to go ahead, Elizabeth?
Sure. Social life is not the highest priority.
Go ahead. Sorry.
If you find yourself unable to clear your head of work-related thoughts at the end of the day, that's committed. Social relationships are important and you do need to blank out work from time to time, but if social priorities are the top of your list, you probably won't enjoy the role of entrepreneur.
And that's just real talk, you know, and I'm a social butterfly. So that's hard for me. That's been hard for me. And that's why I really like to take weekends off. So I can
I just need to get to the point where it's like I do take a break because I literally feel like I'm doing this 24/7 all the time. And I do need, like the other night, my husband sat down on the couch with me and I was like, I shut my laptop and shoved it to the side. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, but I've got to stop because there's always going to be something else to do.
Yep. And you will find a lot more success when you start doing that. I take Sundays off no matter what because I am LDS. And I do go to church, and that has been the best thing for my business. I've always never worked Sundays. So I definitely have that day to recharge. But I usually try and take most of Saturdays off. Maybe I'll do one sale, but I'll try and have my sale over by Saturday so that I can also do other things because LuLaRoe has to work for you. You don't work for LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe works for you. So you have to decide the best days and times to do your sales, to do your parties. And that's when you will find a lot of success. So like same with your social life, like you can't go out and hang out every night if you have work, you know what I mean? Or stay out till 3 a.m. because, you know, that is not your priority or whatever. You know, it does have to be your business, and having a home-based business, a work that you can't just leave at work is really hard, but the rewards are so much more because if you wanted to, you can take 10 days off and not go out of business. And that's what Matt and I just did. We took 10 days off of Facebook and LuLaRoe and everything, and we're still in business. It was hard to make up for that, and we would have done it a lot better before we left next time, we know. But that is a rare thing, you know, to be able to have the flexibility.
I'm worried about that week off the first week of April, but I know that we need it because my husband was gone for 9 months. But I am worrying now about how that's going to affect business.
You know, and maybe we can do a training on that because they shared so many things because we were all cruise qualified and we were the first 2 cruise qualified who were on this ship, right? They're, you know, a lot of amazing salespeople. And we're all kind of coming together and saying, how are we going to cruise qualify in 2 weeks? We were all like, we all get home and we have 2 weeks left and it's a short month. So we're all like, and most of us didn't have anything before. I didn't. I had maybe 1,000 in sales or something, if that. And so we were just like, how are we going to do this? And we were all brainstorming on ways to do it. And so that would be a really cool thing maybe to talk about, because we all have to go on trips this summer and we need to know how to run our business. And I don't think there's been a training like that. And there's actually someone I know who would be really good at that. And it's Chris, the Oaklatians. Oaklation? How do you say the last name? The Oaklatians, I think. Anyway, CT Oakenshin. It looks like Oakenshin, but I think it's like Oaklation. She's my Lula sister. And anyway, they take off a week out of every month. And they work hardcore 3 weeks and they take a week off, and they like that, and that works for them. And so maybe I can have her help and do a training for us, because that's very important. I'm glad that you're aware of that now. And one thing that's really helpful, and what Holly and I have been trying to do, is like outfits of the day and stuff. That's really cool. And maybe posting your inventory while you're gone and having it ready for you when you come home. Hello.
This is my trainer, Jessica, and some of my
Hello.
teammates. Who
Hi.
are all these people? Who am I saying hi to?
Oh, that's okay. So this is Nicole and Angie. Nicole's actually still in the queue, but she's been like, she's one of mine directs. And then also she's been in the queue for a bit. So we graduated her. She can stay here. She's
Jessica's
waiting for them to call her back.
She's
Yeah.
always sponsored. So tell it.
Gotcha.
Good to meet you. We love your wife. She's amazing.
Jury's still out on that though.
And I'm so glad you're here. I love it so far. LuLaRoe, is it crazy or what?
It's interesting.
He did his first live last week. He sold 7 things. His first live.
Dang, that is awesome. That is so
Got
cool.
inventory count. He already knows about shipping and packing. Just
Dang,
jumped right-
that's awesome. That's really amazing. Thank you. I love it when husbands try and like really get involved, and that's really cool.
But he still won't wear a pair of leggings.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. My husband said the same thing, but he was wearing them all the cruise, man.
I'm sure. I think all the guys were, weren't they?
A lot of them were. You get to the point where you're just like, okay, fine. All the other guys are doing it, you know?
I mean, it's just like wearing a pair of like biker shorts.
Yeah.
Derek says thermals and he won't ever wear them.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But
Yeah.
we're talking about how to not make our business a hobby, but think of our business as a business. That's what.
Because it's really easy to do that with LuLaRoe, is to kind of get sucked into the social media to where you're spending a lot of your time like in social media rather than like working in it, you know, and just like I do all the time. Like having Facebook business is so hard because I'm like news feed. I just keep scrolling and I'm like, wait, crap, what am I doing? Oh my gosh. Like,
When you hear the ding and she's like, oh my gosh, I got to go do this now.
yeah. Except for, are you proud of her? She told me the other day that she closed her laptop and pushed it away.
When was that?
Shut up. The other night.
And that is hard to do, but it gives you so much freedom.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny? There was this husband actually who was helping his wife deal with this. And this was more like 3 years ago when LuLaRoe first started. And it was when they were only selling skirts. And he's like, sweetheart, there are no skirt emergencies. Like you can take off for the night. You don't have to get back to them. Turn off your notifications. There's no skirt emergencies. And he actually, there was someone who like called her in the middle of the night or something. And he told the same thing to the girl. There are no skirt emergencies. She will call you back. Like, you know, and I love that. And I think about that often. Like there's no skirt emergencies. Like these people, because Facebook is so instant reply and instant gratification, people think that they're going to get that, and you don't have to do that. It's what you set the tone, you know? So anyway, that's a good example. So thank you. Okay. Do you want to read our next one?
Number
It'd
5.
be nice to hear a manly voice.
Comfortable with unpredictable work hours. Some people need a predictable schedule for family reasons or just a peace of mind. And entrepreneurs need to be flexible and assume there will be long working hours. If you're annoyed rather than exhilarated at the long or unpredictable schedule at your startup, you are involved but not committed.
And we were actually just talking about this, so it kind of already goes into it. Are you used to I think your hours were kind of predictable, but unpredictable maybe? I don't know. Do you have any knowledge on this?
Yeah, I mean yeah. Well, there's some predictable unpredictability
Yeah.
is the best way to describe it, because I mean, deployed, you could get woken up at 4:30 in the morning to have to go deal with something, and then you're working till midnight.
Yeah.
So you just kind of just deal with the sleep deprivation and try and work your way through it.
Absolutely. Knowing that there is an end in sight, right?
You know what, Jess, can you talk a little bit about, because when I went to the Inspire tour in September, somebody did a training and she was talking about how LuLaRoe becoming an addiction. And if the first thing you do when you get up in the morning is check your newsfeed or check something LuLaRoe, then you're addicted. And I've struggled with that because I don't think I'm addicted. I'm just trying to work my business. Like, you know?
Yeah. I think, I don't know who said that.
I can't remember her name. She's one of the local consultants that are kind of higher up.
And
I know what she looks like. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's true in a mindset, because some of us become so addicted that we neglect everything else in our lives, or so obsessed. And I've done that, and especially your first year, like we're all learning here. Like most of us have never been a business owner and have no idea what we're doing, and it's a learning process. So I think for me, sometimes I can fall into the category of addiction, maybe where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to check my phone on her. But then it's also like, well, actually I have to check my phone because I have a team of 80 people and I have to make sure that their needs are met, or I have this customers that are like all sending messages. But the thing I think what she was trying to point out is that you have to set hours. You have to set work hours. And I will tell you my perfect ideal work schedule. I like to wake up at 8 or 9, but it's because I've been like sleeping in lately. And my daughter wakes up at 8 or 9, so I just wake up when she does. But I want to start getting a daycare for her sake, so that she can have more interaction and things like that. So ideally, like take her to the daycare and work while she's at the daycare from 9 to 1. That is my perfect ideal of work schedule. I want to work 9 to 1 and then feed her lunch and then work again from 2 to 4 or whatever she sleeps, 1 to 3 or whatever that is, kind of where I'm working, except for I have a lunch break. And then I want to take 5 to 7 off, from 4 to 7, 5 to 7, whatever, that time with my daughter every night. And I don't want to be doing anything work related. And I want to get everything done in my day job or daytime, right? Even though I'm an entrepreneur and I have my own business, I want to set those hours so that she knows what to expect of me and I know what to expect of me. My husband knows what to expect, our friends and our family, so that doesn't happen. And that's what a lot of the higher up does. A lot of them can afford maybe more help than us who are like on the lower end of things and just starting out. So in the first 90 days, did I have any kind of schedule organization? No. Did I check every notification? Yes. For the first 6 months, like for the first long while, until I kind of got the hang of it a little bit and started figuring it out. And so that is my perfect ideal schedule. Has it happened yet? No, it hasn't, but I'm meeting with the new daycare lady for Olivia, hopefully on Wednesday, and we can try and figure that out. That's been the hardest thing, is I want her to have somewhere that she's having fun. And like, that's really important to me, for her to like interact with kids and have fun and have a safe environment that's comfortable, and not just like throwing her away because I want her being babysat. It's like, no, I want to be with her, but I'm a better mom when I have that nighttime with her, when I'm not working at all and working during the day. I'll be a better mom, and then I'll start my live sales after she goes to bed. And it's making sure like that you have that schedule that works around your schedule. But a lot of us don't stick to a schedule. And so that's what she's talking about, is those people will just wake up and go right on their phone. And it's like they're wasting time because maybe they're half answering questions. Like, I know I do this. I'll go right away and I'll check notifications and I'll like look at a message, but I won't answer it right away and I'll put it away. And so it's like I spent all that time looking at those messages, but I really wasn't answering them. And then it's like a waste of time, and I have to go back and do it again, instead of being like, okay, this is my morning messaging time from like 9 to 10, I'm going to check my messages. And I tell my customers, hey, 9 to 10, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I check messages. So if you want to message me during that time, you'll probably get a fast response, blah, 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 And it's like, I've tried to do it, but I haven't really implemented it, but it's getting harder and harder. And I'm getting more and more motivated to like try and do that, because that's why. So I think when she said that, she was more of you need to take control of your business and understand that LuLaRoe works for you. And a lot of these people who are like, and that was me for the first 6 months, and I'm still but it's a different kind of for the first 6 months, though, first 9 months, I struggled so hard because I didn't have that time management skill set, and I didn't make that schedule. And so I think when they say that, they're like, okay, you need to do this because I did that. And I was realizing that I was too addicted to checking my phone and my notifications, and I couldn't literally stop doing it. So maybe that would be it. Does that kind of help a little bit?
Yes.
So but you can't feel like, you don't feel like you're addicted if you are doing it, because it's not really, addicted isn't really the word I would use. Maybe that was kind of maybe a bad choice of word. I mean, I am addicted to LuLaRoe, but you guys want to know how far I've come. I used to make Andy in the beginning and Lacey, and I don't know, Holly, I was kind of getting over it at that point, but I used to make them, and not make them, but I would invite them to go through the boxes with me when they got new boxes. I was like, I want to see everything, and because I just wanted to see all the new prints because I was super addicted, and I would be shopping on everyone's page all the time, even though I was doing my own thing. And obviously I don't do that anymore. And you kind of learn, to tame your addiction a little bit. Am I still addicted to LuLaRoe? Heck yeah, but hopefully it's a more positive addiction right now, not where I have to see every single piece of inventory because I don't want to miss one that I love, And so I've been there, and but as far as the phone thing, yeah, oh my gosh, it's so hard. And I bet it's hard for your hubs. You're like, why are you on your phone? And I don't know if he's like that ever. My husband's like that. So that's why I think setting those business hours and finding out what works for you. And LuLaRoe really tries to teach that, but they can't force anyone to do anything. And so here's what happens. In a perfect world, all consultants would have business hours, and customers would respect that and get used to it. In a perfect world, all consultants would invoice after 24 hours or within 24 hours, but not instantly every time. And because consultants don't do that, customers get used to it. So they're like, excuse me, I commented sold 2 hours ago. Where's my invoice? And I'm like, whoa, hold on, lady. I have a family. I have a life. I post my inventory. I invoice the next day. Because I don't invoice. I invoice at one time. With this new system, maybe I won't because it's kind of easier. But you know what I mean? So in a perfect world, these customers would understand that consultants do have a life and they have a schedule, and you need to cater to my schedule instead of me always catering to yours. That's what a perfect world would be. But because we have a lot of us who aren't doing that all the time, it kind of creates this habit of these wicked customers who are evil sometimes and so impatient and disrespectful. And it's because of all the other consultants, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they try really hard to have the MAP pricing, and which is the maximum, the online pricing they're supposed to do, and different things well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And it's because they want to make it equal, they really want to make it equal for everyone. And unfortunately, a lot of people have ruined that for us, but at the same, it doesn't mean it's bad if you send an invoice right away. Hey, you want to get money right away, that's okay. But not all of us sometimes can, and I found that it's better for my system if I do it all at once. Then I'm not checking my phone every 5 minutes. The only times that I'm really trying to check my phone is right after I post to answer questions. And after they comment sold, say something like, oh, you got it. If you've never filled this out, please fill it out, or something like that, Those are really good to answer right away because they get lost if you don't. At least for me, if certain questions, sometimes they'll just get lost and then not answered, and then people get really sad. And I've noticed a lot of just this last week, I tried to do it that night, even though I was really tired and I didn't want to. I tried to answer a lot of questions, and it actually increased my sales. And the last 2 or 3 months, I've been doing it the next day. And sometimes they wouldn't get responded to till Saturday, and I want to take down my albums, but I'm waiting for these responses, and it creates more hard work for you. So those kinds of things I would do faster. But anyway, I'd like to talk, obviously. So sorry if I'm talking too much, but I think I want to do that more, and hopefully I can be a better example to you guys. And when I have it figured out, I'll write this book and I'll give it to you. This is how we figured it all out, on how to exactly manage your time perfectly. I have a husband who is more, what's it called? He's more gold. What? green or gold, or and what is your thing?
Oh,
And what is your what?
I still have to do that. I don't know what color I am.
Oh yeah, you guys should do it together. It's really fun. It's really fun, and definitely tell your sponsor, so it helps us, as your leaders to know, and then it helps you, and it can help your relationship, and it'll help your customers. Like understanding the 4 different ways people think will help you relate to your customers and your teams and your friends and your family anyway. So it's a really cool thing. But anyway, my husband's more like, I have to know, and I'm like, we're in the moment. Let's have a sale in an hour. And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't do it, and then we fight. And I'm like, you don't want to do business. And he's like, dude, you got to tell me. And I'm like, no, but it's because I'm totally orange and he's totally gold. And we just like, the orange is like the spur of the moment, spontaneous, like life of the party, like me. And then the gold is like, I have to have it written down in a schedule or else my mind can't even wrap around it. And so I think using those attributes to work for you. And so it's really hard for someone like me, ADHD, to keep a schedule. And I really want to, though, because I want to be a better example and help others keep a schedule, because I know that the times that I have, which has only been a few times, it's been good weeks when I have that expectation. I know those weeks that are going to happen, how they're going to lay out, and I see it work with Phil and Danielle. They're amazing schedule people. And that's the only way they keep up with all their stuff. Because it doesn't matter how long I've known her or how many times I've talked to her on the phone, 50, whatever times. Every single time I'm like, Danielle, how do you deal with your notifications and all your messages? Because I have a fraction of what you have to deal with, and I can't. It's like so hard. And she just writes. They have really good schedules. They have
so special when Phil responds to a question of mine.
What?
I feel so special when Phil actually responds to a question of mine.
And he does, because they're amazing.
But they also do shipping at 1:00 in the morning. So
they sacrifice sleep for being that amazing, But yeah, they're pretty incredible. That's a power couple. I love them. Okay, so just so I can wrap these 2 things up, and then we can chat a little bit more. Seeing vacation as an interruption. There's some of these that I like. Okay, like I agree, but I disagree. But I also agree because, honestly, going on that like cruise was really awesome. It was really fun to take that time off, but you get to a point in a vacation where it becomes hard, where it's like, okay, day number 10, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready to go back home because I can't even imagine how much work I have to do. And so I found, and my family was already like that before because they all have businesses, but I didn't get it. And I was like, let's do a week vacation. And my whole family, they're like, they all have their own business. They're like, no, 3 days is good. For 3 nights and 4 days. That's a perfect vacation. And I'm like, that's not enough. But I never had like a steady, committed job. I was only in school or whatever. And I always like to make it work. But understanding that now that's the perfect vacation is 3 nights and 4 days. Don't change your vacation or anything. But I'm just saying for me, like that's when it became like more difficult was after that 4 days. And so I think that's kind of where I would agree with this more. And it's just hard. Once you get out of the swing of it, it's so hard to get back in. I struggled the first 4 or 5 days I was back to talk to the team, to go on my page and sell. I was just tired. I was like, I need a vacation for my vacation, and it's hard to get out of the swing of it. And so don't let a day go by. And what would be cool for you is in California is to document your vacation on your page. And that'd be really cool.
especially
And
if I can tour the warehouse.
yes, and go to LuLaRoe and make it part of your vacation. And that is, I think, the different mindset,
Yeah.
And haven't even thought about retirement. I don't really know how much that relates to all of us in our lives right now exactly, but many people involved in startups are working hard, but they're looking forward to retirement. The committed entrepreneurs wouldn't even think of retiring. It's kind of like, you're not even going to think about quitting before you start. You know what I mean? Like focus on where you're at right now. Like this is good, and focus on your potential. They enjoy work too much to stop, and they can't wait for their next venture. And that should be true. You should be enjoying yourself. And I actually, I'm a Mormon of the Mormon Church. I'm a member of the Mormon Church. And my bishop came up to me yesterday, and I haven't been really doing my church a lot because I've been traveling so much and just out of town. And I've been struggling with it a little bit. And my bishop came up to me and he was talking to me, and I don't really know him that well because it's Christmas is when we came to this new area, and I just didn't really know him because we haven't been here. And he said, don't forget to enjoy today. Because I was talking about how I'm so stressed out and like I have a lot going on. And he's like, don't forget to enjoy today. Like you only have today. And I'm like, crying, like, ah. And it's because, we forget that sometimes and this is nothing to just do with LuLaRoe. This is life. In life, we forget to just enjoy each moment and to enjoy each day, and that today is amazing and it's a miracle, and we're just blessed even wherever we're at in our lives in our unique situations. And we just can't forget to enjoy that. And I really loved that. And it made me think about where I'm at with my LuLaRoe journey and all these things. And I'm like, I need to enjoy today. I need to enjoy every day. And that's a goal of mine this week, is to have more fulfilled enjoyment in my journey. And to get better at and making time for things, actually. So this training has really been for me, because I'm really trying to make more time for my family locally to me. And I want to know, I'm the kind of person who I want to know all my neighbors. I haven't really had the chance, even since I moved in, to get to know anyone here. I don't know my neighbors. So that's actually affecting my business, because it's less people that I can just go over next door and share my inventory with and get to know. But it's also affecting my own personal goals that I have to kind of be a community builder around me. Before LuLaRoe, I had that goal. So anyway, closing up on this, it just says, making this commitment is a serious matter, and it should not be taken lightly, especially a startup venture where the team needs to pull together weight to achieve certain goals. Individuals who need structure and workload predictability will probably not be able to maintain high levels of enthusiasm and motivation to start up their own team. This isn't a statement of right or wrong, just different stroke for different folks. So next time you have the urge, this is for other people, I guess. We already chucked our dreams, right? But it says, next time you have the urge to chuck your day job and live the dream of being your own boss, remember to test yourself on how committed you really are before you jump to the cliff. Does anyone wish they read this before they started? There you go, Nicole. Are you ready? Are you committed? Are you going to do it? So let's make it the screen bigger now. So anyway, I really loved these things, and I hope that they help you treat your business like a business and understand the work that does go into it. But I know 100% when you go and you have your biggest sale, and the hard work you put into it, you're just going to know. You're going to be like, okay, that was worth it. So when you go and you have that one sale and you're like, oh my gosh, that paid off my credit card, or that is going to help us do this. Or when you start signing up some people, if you want to build a team and you start finding people and you sign them up and you start seeing the light in their eyes and their joy and fulfillment from doing this. And then you start getting commission and you're like, oh, financially, this is awesome. And then when you have these customers who are like Patrick said, there's people who have never felt beautiful in their lives. And some of them get to try on LuLaRoe and feel that experience for the first time. And you can't put a price on that. And I'm sure that you've had this experience already. And I know that I've had it. I like to cater a lot towards plus size women who do have a hard time feeling that they're beautiful. And I love being able to help them feel beautiful in fun clothes, because I know that's what happened to me after I had a baby. I was like 50 pounds overweight and just not feeling good about myself at all. And I put on LuLaRoe and I was like, dang, I look good, and it felt good. And I was happy and it gave me more confidence. And I felt more like myself than I had felt like in a long time. And so I know there's so many other things besides just the money that comes from LuLaRoe that blesses your life. Your character is blessed. And your family is blessed. And if you're really living the culture of LuLaRoe as well, Matt, can you get this? Hurry up. It's I think it's our doctor appointment for Olivia that we have at 4 that I forgot about. Yep. But anyway, it's this 480 number. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Thank you guys for watching this training. If you're not here, thank you guys for being here live. This is awesome. And then I'm going to stop recording really quick.